In this video, I'm going to share with you the most underrated way to make money in GTA 5 Online. Now, there are tons of ways to make money in the game, but it's easy to get caught up in the cycle of only doing the best money methods on that grind to making millions. But in doing so, sometimes we forget about the other great ways to make money that pay decently well, but are also tons of fun and refreshing. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about something that I think checks off both of these boxes. It is the auto shop contracts. Now, in order to get started with these, you're first going to have to go to the LS car meet, go through the cutscene, talk to Mimi, get a membership, and then you're going to be able to purchase one of these auto shops for as low as just under $1.7 million. Now, I don't think location matters whatsoever, so $1.7 million is all you're going to need, and there will be no upgrades. Once you've done that, all you got to do is head into your auto shop, complete the first entry-level mission for Sasanta where you're returning her car, and then you'll be able to access the auto contracts board. Now, when you get to the board, you're going to see that at any given time, there's going to be 3 options of a contract. And there's 8 in total, 8 different ones, but they rotate through after completing one each time. Now, these contracts are essentially mini heists. You have 2 simple setup missions and 1 finale, and they're actually quite a bit of fun. Some of them I've grown to not like as much, some of them I actually really enjoy, and their payouts range from anywhere between $170,000 to $290,000, and they only take you about maximum 25-30 minutes. If you get really good at these, you can do them in 20 minutes. But if it's your first time, the 30-minute mark is what you can expect to complete these in. The great thing about these, though, is that there is no cooldown, which means that you could just keep running through each contract over and over and over again. But I will say there is a cooldown if you're doing the exact same contract over again. So what I mean by that is, for example, one of them is the Union Depository contract. If you just completed that one, and it pops up on your board again, you will not be able to do it right away. There will be a cooldown, but there's still 2 other ones that you could complete right away. Now, all of these can be done completely solo, but you can also do them with friends, which may help because for most of these contracts, the amount of NPCs you're gonna have to face is pretty intense. But it's completely doable. I've done all of mine completely solo. So the way the payout works is the first 2 setup missions, you're gonna get $10,000 each for them. Then you're going to do a finale which has a bigger payout, but there's going to be a 10% cut going to the people who run the auto shop with you. On the low end, like I said before, you're going to make $170,000 altogether, and on the high end, you'll make $290,000. The best contract to do is a Union Depository contract, of course, because it is the highest paying one. It's the one that makes you $290,000. Almost all the other ones are in the $180,000, $190,000 range or less, so that's quite a big jump. But I've actually found that I've had the Union Depository probably pop up the most out of any contract. That could just be luck, or it could just be that they are making it more accessible and easier for us to make more money. Now, when it comes to the setup missions, you are able to use any of your own personal vehicles. And the 3 that I suggest having, if you're going to go through all these contracts, and I also suggest you doing that, try them all out, have fun. I really enjoyed playing through them all and seeing which ones I liked. But the 3 vehicles that will come in handy is either having a Sparrow or an Oppressor Mark II. I personally use an Oppressor. And then also having a Phantom Wedge, because there will be some setup missions where you'll need a cab, so having the Phantom Wedge is always a great option. Now, when it comes to the finales, there is quite a wide variety. Like I said, there are 8 of these contracts total, and they all vary quite a bit. You have one where you're racing with a train, gotta stop it and go through all of its cargo to find certain products. There's another where you're breaking someone out of prison. You have the one where you're robbing the Union Depository. There's such a wide range, and it's one reason why I think it's the most underrated method to make money. And it's also the main reason why I want to make this video. But that's not all when it comes to finales. You also have to do 2 things before you go into them. The first is choose your vehicle. You're going to have to use a tuner vehicle. You could either use one of your own or use the one that they have given for you, which is Sasanta's car. That works perfectly fine. I've personally always used it. And then you're going to have to choose a weapons loadout, just like Cayo Perico. This time, you're going to have a few different choices, but I highly suggest going with one of 2. First is Hustler. Hustler can be used on pretty much every single one of these contracts. Is probably the best one in my opinion. But there is another one, which is Sharpshooter, which I highly suggest using for the ECU contract and the Super Dollar Deal. And that's because they give you sticky bombs, which will come in handy. I don't want to give any spoilers, but trust me, they're fairly handy for those contracts. Now, once you've decided the car and the weapon loadout that you're going to go with, you're now able to do these finale heists. Now, there's 3 main contracts that I highly suggest avoiding. Now, of course, feel free to play through all of them and see which ones you like the most. But the 3 that I don't like so much is the Super Dollar Deal, the Lost MC contract, and then the Data contract. These are just not my favorite. One, the style of mission is not really my cup of tea, and if you ever play them, you'll know what I'm talking about. But 2, the NPCs in these missions are pretty crazy. Now, they're crazy for all of the contracts, but in some of these in particular, especially the Lost contract, it is crazy. So I just try to stay away from those. But on the flip side, the contracts that I like the most, first off, like I said before, Union Depository pays out the most, and I find it has 2 other great qualities. One, it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple, the setups and the finale. And 2, it's quite a bit of fun, and it gives you that nostalgic feel of robbing the Union Depository like we used to do in the offline mode of GTA 5. Another contract that I have a lot of fun with is the bank contract. Now, this one is a little bit more time consuming because you're essentially robbing 6 different maze banks around the map, but same thing like robbing the Union Depository. There's just something fun about going in, grabbing the cash, and then heading on to the next one and trying to evade the cops the entire time. And the final one that I like the most is the Agency Deal. This one just has a great firefight in my opinion. I have lots of fun with it, and I'd love to know your favorite contracts in the description down below. But to wrap up this entire video, the main reason why I think these are the most underrated ways to make money in the entire game is simply for how much fun or how much variety you have when playing these missions compared to other ways to make money in the game. And not only that, you could be making upwards of $400,000 or more every single hour by doing these once you get used to them. So it's actually a fairly decent way of making money, considering the Dr. Dre contract is about $660,000 every single hour, which isn't too far off. Of course, they don't make you that 1.3 million like Cayo Perico Heist or that 1 million like the Dr. Dre contract, but they are great to do in between or during cooldown times of stuff like the Cayo Perico Heist, or when you're just hopping on, you have a little bit of time, 20-30 minutes to play. These are great to do if you want something productive to do, or if you have friends. It's just, they're tons of fun, at least in my opinion, to do, and I think they are slept on mainly because they don't make you that $1 million payout like these other methods can. Anyways, I hope this video helped, and if you do go on to play these contracts, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of them and your thoughts on the entire business. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.